So, hello, hello, hello. Gonna leisurely play some Honkai Starrail. Maybe with a controller? See whether my controller actually works on this. Oh, my cat is in front of the USB, so
I didn't expect the first lesson.
oh yeah, I was in the middle of doing the quest where March 7th gains powers of swordplay. And I really like this. The quest shows the actual good fighting days of Honkai. It has characters that feel more like weird and like kind of alive. It has characters who are a bit goofy, but like more relevant interactions overall. Like characters that are flawed, that are not some sort of make-believe deities with ultra naivistic, simplistic goals like in Amphorius. These characters are believable. They exist. Amphorius does not. And it hasn't been made interesting, the idea that Amphorius doesn't exist. You know, there's like hints that it's not a real world, but it's not a real world and it doesn't really affect any of the story thus far or any characters. So that's what sucks about Amphorius. But here I'm going back to the good old days, to the quests that actually do make sense and are actually cool.
Miss March has quick hands and a flexible body. She's a perfect fit for practicing Lawfu swordplay.
Need to amp up the volume.
However, she lacks strength, and her strikes were a bit unfocused. But don't worry, that's totally normal for beginners. Once she starts practicing dooming swordplay, she'll make heaps of progress.
So I really liked this part. These rivals in the Lawfu, master swordsmen and women, they were made to train March, and they're kind of competing in who's the best master. And the gameplay integrated this perfectly. March 7th, like kind of a goofball, having the skill of like offering boba tea to the Sifu and making that character the Sifu, and then the goofy ass like one-liners of attacking moves, the other characters, the masters, commenting on that. This really felt organic, really great. Goofy, flawed, weird, but that's how people are, you know? At least this is how nice writing can be.
Given the situation, I believe
And
Miss March
marriage
should
of
start by
writing and
working
gameplay,
on-
which has been lost for a long time. Now this gameplay is just an afterthought. Doesn't marry the writing as well as it did in this storyline. I haven't played anymore, but I was instantly mesmerized by how well it went while playing this bit.
her footwork.
Oh no! They disagree.
Seriously,
Who would have
do
thought?
you actually know anything about swordplay, or what?
I could ask you the same thing. Dual swords require agility. So what's more important than footwork?
Instead of focusing on her strengths, we should address her weaknesses. The drawback of wielding two swords is not generating enough force. What good is being quick on your feet if
I
you
mean,
don't have strength?
both make sense.
It's not like we're dancing here.
This is like an actual character conflict. This is like a small thing, like usual arguments are between people. This is believable.
Skilled sword masters know how to play
And
to
also
their strengths
have
and
some,
work on
like,
their weaknesses.
actual
Start
ideas.
with what you're good at, then tackle your weaknesses.
Like actual
That's the right
competing
way to learn.
ideas presented. like presents how in real life you can have two separate sets of ideas that are competing, and when like deciding between the two, they can be actually viewed as equal. Not in sense of effect, but in sense of value.
You're quite the theorist, huh?
Theorist? You claim to be able to talk to swords. So what does that make you? A lunatic?
Both can be right. Lunatic? I mean,
Hey, it's only my first lesson, and you're already arguing. Come on, calm down, masters. I'll have to improve both my footwork and strength anyway, so it doesn't matter which one comes first.
yeah, the big arguments in being a master in theorizing. That also makes a lot of sense.
But it does matter. Just listen to me, March 7th.
Aww.
It's childish argument, but a believable one. And I really like how this questline gives you a different version of a character. Ah, perfect. This is how quests should be, like they're interwoven into the gameplay. The better March 7. This one I can actually build. Let's see the skills. Okay, this does enhance further the enhanced basic attack. And the skill is the Shifu. Okay, yeah, so these differences in the ability, just giving extra damage or giving extra toughness reduction, isn't that big of a deal, but this is a problem with Honkai's basic system, that there isn't much variety in the battle. I don't think there's a good way to make this more interesting. But this is already a good design to make it at least interwoven to the story and thus feel interesting, even if it like mechanical isn't as much. Yeah, and it depends on the other character who is the Shifu. Gaining charges makes the basic attack much stronger. Guess the relic is the basic, whatchamacallit, yeah, this one. With the cowboy hats and all that. What's the planosphere? Imaginary boost, yeah, looks good. Not the best, maybe we have a better one. Let's try this though. Okay, this is quite nice. Yeah, not bad though. Well, most stuff in that you actually get in Honkai is quite bad, but I mean, crit rate, that's probably better. No, I'd say the crit rate one is better. Let's see what it gives as an enhancement. Right, crit damage. Ooh, nice. This is what we're going for then. Ah, it's bound to go to defense. some point. This is still better. And I love the music. The music's nice. Chinese themes. Imaginary, yeah, I don't think there's a much better artifact available. Can we get 3 levels? Nah, it's just short. She will give away the Rutilant Arena eventually if I get her better artifacts, so she might go with that, but I don't know. Also speed would be nice, but I don't think I could give her Kayla's boots, but I don't think that's necessary right now. Might build her eventually, but not right away. Ooh, this is actually nice, even though the skill does not deal damage, so that would be wasted. And energy max level would give... I mean, we are spending the ultimate usually, so that's whatever. I mean, this is all around good, as is this one. I think I'm going with the Simulated Universe RT. It's pretty good. Do we have a use case where we don't use our ultimate? I mean, I think we're always using the artifact, the ultimate. There's so many actually good options. Let's just equip this for now. Can we get a quick level up? Just short. And days 20 more.
Dear Himeko, Mr. Yang, and
Nice.
Pom Pom, we're all good here on the Xianzhou Lafu, so no need to worry.
I like the
By the
shirt.
way, how's your trip going?
These are
For
character
me,
relations on
I've
the
somehow
ship.
become the
Nothing like that in
apprentice to 2
Anthorius.
Cloud Knight sword masters, and I've been honing my sword skills with their guidance. One of them is Yanqing, the boy we've all met before. The other is Yun Li, the granddaughter of General Hua Yan from the Xianzhou Juming.
And this writing of letters make her
Both
seem human.
masters are super strict,
The
giving me a
character
real
is.
taste of how hard
Should
sword
be.
training can be. I tried to drag him into this, but he refused.
Very like
Then I tried to
everyday
rope Dan Heng in,
problems,
but Master Yanqing wouldn't have it.
which is good.
Still, I didn't let the difficulty get to me. In just a few weeks, my sword skills have improved a lot. Both my masters think I have unique talents in swordplay, and are literally fighting each other to teach me their skills. Thanks to their guidance, I've actually made some progress. When I get back to the Express, I'll definitely show off my skills and impress you all. Looking forward to your reply. Yours, Mark 7.
The lost art of writing letters. War dance. Love the music. Chinese elbow. Ouch. Also, a relevant comment to real life.
Well done. Let's call it a day.
That's only one day? Already writing letters about the huge training saga? Or is it just
Miss March's
one of 3
sword
days?
skills are really coming along. She'll hold her own just fine in the war dance.
Perhaps I might have a shot at beating both masters in the ring?
If you're the player character, yes. But these young singers is actually pretty bad.
You've only been practicing for a short while. How could that possibly happen?
Will that happen?
Your talent
Also
is
cool
March.
drama. Like this is like
A few more decades to train.
building up tension, like for the player to think like maybe that will happen. Would that be like this builds expectation for the War Dance storyline? Like, will this happen? Will March 7th fight the Masters? Like this isn't like this isn't like constantly thinking of like the past and some sort of big mission and stuff like that that Amphorius is doing all the time. This is like relevant stuff, everyday life of this relevant world.
Decades?
Bah.
But I'll be an old lady by then. No.
Damn Zoomers.
Can you believe it? March 7th has actually become a pretty decent swordmaster in such a short time. Now I understand why Grandpa always had a grin on his face while training me.
Are you sure he wasn't laughing at you?
Oh, shut up.
Are they actually into each other?
It's all thanks to your amazing
Maybe.
guidance, masters.
Miss March, you're really getting the hang of wielding dual swords.
I'll also
You're
change
keen
my
on
mic
advancing.
settings. It seems
Trying out
it's
different
a bit too
Senjo
low.
blades can improve your touch.
Mic settings, where you at? So problematic to get mic settings right. Perhaps might be okay. I don't know.
Let me see. Which sword is the most powerful? Single sword? Great sword? Or maybe a flying sword?
There's no such thing as the most powerful sword. It's all about the skill of the swordmaster. Yenqing wields several flying swords, while I only wield one. But remember how I kicked his butt at the Alchemy Commission?
First, you didn't kick my butt. Second, you'll
so
never
cute.
kick my butt. Third, how about we settle this right now and see who kicks whose butt?
Lots of talks about butts.
Yeah, I'm up for that. And if I kick your butt, you'll drop out of the war dance.
That's look on Marcy's face. That's the like meme Genshin content right there.
Why are you two arguing
Honkai.
again? I thought things had been improving between you lately.
There was talk that the leading disciples of the Luofu and Juming generals were supposed to face off in the war dance, but for some
I
reason,
like this guy.
they suddenly teamed up to train an apprentice of their own. Turns out the rumors are true.
I like spicy food. I'm all into that.
Tomorrow is the big day of the war dance. Shouldn't you two be focusing on honing your skills instead of teaching swordplay here?
Yeah, he has a nice outfit. I like the detail.
You're... Oh, that's right. You're the pink-haired fox from the Yaoqing.
Chuckle pink-haired fox.
What
That's
are
a
you
nice
laughing at?
reaction.
You've got pink hair too.
That's true.
I'm Jiaocho, the healer working for the general of the Senjo Yaoqing.
Ah, got it. So, you're the participant attending the war dance on behalf of the Yaoqing.
I wonder why he doesn't have
We're
healing
trying to sneak a
abilities.
peek at our
He
training?
should have some.
Sorry for the misunderstanding. I don't know anything about martial arts.
No, he's just...
I'm just here on the general's orders to take care of some official business. I didn't
Maybe
mean
he's
to
just
interrupt
playing
your training.
coy. Maybe he's just
I'll
hiding
be
his
on my
true
way.
power levels of
You know
nihility.
nothing about martial arts. Why were you smirking earlier?
Well, my curiosity got the better of me, I suppose. When I heard Miss March's pondering about what to learn, I couldn't help but wander over.
Also gives some believable
From my
curiosity
professional
and
experience,
mystery for
cleavers,
people.
slicers, chopping
These
knives,
like
and
lines they
carving
talk about,
knives are all
they're like
just
almost
tools.
never
Kind of
what
like
it seems like.
frying,
They like
sautéing,
subtly
deep frying,
subtly
cooking.
hide stuff like
Just ways for people
basically
to show off
dialogue
their
in real life.
skills.
Like
How
people
you
do
use
hide a lot
them
of stuff
really
in
depends
real
on the
talk,
ingredients you're working
and this makes sense. It also creates some sort of interest in like what is the real version then, and are they hiding something? Sometimes they aren't, but these are much more real characters than any character in Amphorius who only have like some grand goal and like weird ass history and memory in mind. Anyway, from my professional experience, cleavers, slices, chopping knives, and carving knives are all just tools. Kind of like frying, sorting, boiling, and deep frying and cooking. They're just ways for people to show off their skills. How you use them really depends on the ingredients you're working with.
It's like your sword teaching methods. If you align your ingredient, in other words, your apprentice's natural tendencies, with the right cooking method, by which I mean the teaching method that best suits her, she'll make double the progress.
It's very true. This is good insight
For
into
example,
teaching.
Golden eggplant tastes best when fried, cloud peppers when stir-fried, and yellow boulder beef when simmered.
And his
It's
passion
all
for
about
cooking.
discovering
It's
the
cool.
nature of the ingredients.
It's cute.
I mean, apprentice.
And down to earth. I am getting hungry. And nice options like this is funny. This is cool.
All this talk about food is making me hungry.
Are you a healer? Why are you talking about food?
Well, it's just a metaphor. The medicinal school I follow on the Senjo Yaoqing is called the Rancha School. It specializes in food therapy. So it's only natural that I know a thing or two about cooking.
So, you're the general's cook?
I'm a healer. But anyway, a cook who isn't interested in health doesn't make for a good advisor. Fine. Call me a cook if you want. Seeing the way you're looking at me, it's obvious you think I'm just some feeble academic who likes to blabber on about martial arts.
Ooh.
But, in reality, I know a thing or two about killing. After all, the art of healing inherently encompasses both life and death.
That's serious business.
Why is this guy suddenly getting all serious with
You're calling the master's kid.
Do you recognize this bottle of medicine in my hand?
Which they are.
No?
Yeah.
This is called tumble dust, an extract from an exotic flower named Yapra.
Ugh, is it poison?
Well, it depends on how it's used. With just one drop, it's able to numb a patient's body during surgery, making them painless throughout the entire process. However, increase the dose or the potency, and it'll slow the metabolism, making the blood thin and resulting in the loss of all senses. Even long-life species cannot
It's
escape
actually how
its
some
effects.
poisons work with the
This
effects.
can save lives.
This is good insight.
It's more powerful than the swords in your hands.
That may be so, but still, I prefer settling things with a sword than, you know.
Huh. Looks like I did get you all wrong. You're not a feeble scholar, but a
This
sinister
is
and
not despicable.
one.
Good dialogue.
Hey,
There's
why the insults
character
all of a
conflict.
sudden?
Like
Just
believable,
sharing
petty
some
character
medical
conflict.
knowledge
It's
here.
cool.
Not persuading you to poison anyone.
Seems like you get real excited when talking about poison. I can't tell if that's an honorable thing or sinister.
It's cool.
Picture this. Two individuals. The one standing is full of malice. The other lying down is honorable and righteous. How can the one who's lying down label the one standing as sinister?
What?
In the throes of combat, where life and death hinge on a singular moment, every idea fades into nothingness.
That's a good idea.
The only thing
He
that
opened
matters
his eyes for this line.
is staying alive.
This matters for
Surviving the
him.
battlefield reshapes all notions of worth, be it integrity or treachery. In my eyes, their significance is negligible.
No, not
Perhaps
agreeing with
you've
that, but
underestimated me and me, Mr.
I can
Jiaoqiu.
see he has some depth
We
back to
may
that.
be young, but we've seen our fair share of war.
Well, well, then you should know that the war dance is nothing more than a contest. So why are you so focused on it?
I was appointed as the ringmaster for the war dance. I asked the
Setting
general,
himself
we
as
Cloud Knights are
superior
supposed to charge into
in
the fray and
experience.
slay enemies. Why do we have to swing swords in a ring just to please an audience? This is how the general replied. To unsheath your sword in a ring is no different than on the battlefield, as your sword reveals the might of all Cloud Knights. The war dance is the perfect chance to showcase martial virtue and forge alliances from all over the cosmos. When we unsheath the sword without drawing blood, we not only display our might, but also the martial virtue of the Cloud Knights.
Makes sense, but
That's quite an insightful
spoken
statement,
like a
Liuchi.
kid, though.
Well, my apologies for being so short-sighted. I've been on the Law Fu
bit
for quite
naive.
some time, but I haven't had the chance to see the ceremony venue for myself yet. Hearing you speak so highly of it has piqued my curiosity. Would you mind showing me around?
And this dialogue is actually like how people talk.
You want to see
This
the
is not
Sky
like
Splitter
a
ship where the war
hour-long
dance will be
monologue
held?
like in Euphorious.
Let's go! I bet Yun Li and Miss March haven't seen it either, right? Well then, I'll give you all a tour.
By the way, I hate Euphorious. Did that come off right? Was I clear enough on that point? Because it sucks. And Ching.
Let's go. I'll give you a tour of the Sky Splitter.
Cool.
Looks like a lot of other visitors have also come to catch a glimpse of the Sky Splitter.
What's up, Mr. Jiaoqiu?
Jiaqiu?
No, it's nothing.
Jiaqiu? I had no clue how to pronounce his name,
See
so
that airship in the distance?
I'm
That's
practicing, I
the
guess.
Sky Splitter, the venue for the war dance ceremony.
It doesn't look all that impressive from this distance.
The Sky Splitter is actually
Nice
a decommissioned Lockwood
still.
military vessel.
Not a still
People
actually.
aren't allowed
Slightly
on board
animated.
until the
Still.
war dance officially commences. Tomorrow, when the bell rings and the ceremonial cannons roar,
By the way, I
I'll be
love this music.
representing the Cloud Knights of the Xianzhou Lafu, standing in the ring, ready to take on challengers from all over the cosmos. Since I was a kid, I've been training in swordplay and the art of war under the general. Every day, I'd swing my sword 10,000 times, and then thrust it 10,000 times, repeating the process over and over. I understand that I'm not like other kids. I never envied the toys and freedom they all had. I never found sword practice boring or hard. Even in the thick of battle, facing down savage abominations, I never felt scared.
True determination.
Each day, I could
Leap
feel
of
myself
faith.
getting stronger and stronger, and I racked up
Which
countless
leads to success.
victories. It's the best feeling in the world. But then, I faced a really really tough opponent. And just one slash shattered my confidence into 1,000 pieces. That's when I felt true fear for the first time. Maybe that's what Mr. Jiao Cho meant by life and death hinge on a singular moment. Every idea fades into nothingness.
I love
After
this
that,
depth
I
of
had to
dialogue.
pick up the pieces
Oh,
and
like this is
try
monologue,
to
but
put
it's
myself
like
back together.
tied with the stuff that the other
No
characters
matter
feel
how
and
hard
talked
I
about.
tried, I couldn't seem to find my old
And this
happy
is like
self again. I often
more
ask
introspective
myself,
than Amphorius
why
is
do
like
I wield my sword?
weird, contrived story.
Defeat is inevitable. Why do I continue to fight? Is it to reclaim the joy of victory? To meet the General's expectations? Or to secure my honor among the Cloud Knights? While the General could teach me the art of swordplay, he couldn't teach me why I should keep on going. He said the reason must come from within myself. I've been struggling to find that reason. But after talking with you, Mr. Jiao Cho, I think I already have that reason in mind. As a member of the Cloud Knights and the General's apprentice, I've had a weight on my shoulders. And I know there's still more to shoulder. But when I wield my sword, it feels like I'm letting go of everything. I love the feeling of giving it my all, facing any obstacle in front of me, pressing forward. That's why I wield my sword.
I'm almost in tears. That's a
Oh,
really
yes.
well
So
thought
young,
out monologue.
yet so grown up. By the way, how old are you exactly?
Age doesn't really matter. All sword masters will understand how I feel.
Yeah, I respect
I get
young
it.
Yanqing now.
Looks like all the kids on the Luofu live tough lives. So, how about you, Miss Yunli?
It's not polite to ask a girl her age, no matter which Xianzhou ship you're on.
I'm not
cat woke
asking
up.
your age. I'm asking if you have a dream like Yanqing has.
You don't talk like a cook. You sound more like a TV host.
TV host or some. Oh, this characterization, the
Need I
goofiness.
repeat myself again?
That's
I'm
really
a
good.
healer.
Well,
Character interactions.
I don't have a
Bit of
dream like
conflict.
Yanqing does. The only reason I'm participating in the Ringmaster's Challenge is because I made a promise to my grandfather. I want to win the precious sword he's contributed to the war dance.
That's a dream.
Sounds like that mind of yours is just filled with swords.
That's tied with the
I bet
person,
you've got nothing better on your mind.
with her grandpa.
Father was a craftsman on the Xianzhou Juming. Because of his foolishness, many innocent people fell victim to the cursed swords he forged. Since I was a kid, it's been clear to me that not everyone deserves to have a weapon in their hands. Giving them a sword is no different than being cruel to the innocent.
This is
So
true exposition of
whenever I come
backstories.
across someone
This is great.
unworthy of a sword, I can't help but want to take it away from them.
This is not just
Given that
pseudo
Yanqing
history.
is the
This
war
is
dance
introspective
ringmaster, I'm
opening
stepping
up
to
of
challenge
characters.
them, to ensure the precious
motivations.
sword doesn't fall into the hands of an unworthy master.
And very relevant motivations,
What do you
believable
mean by
motivations.
unworthy master?
I see. It's not easy for kids on the Juming either. Well, it's better to have a reason for wielding a sword than to be lost and confused. I've saved countless Cloud Knights in my life, and there are plenty of exceptional warriors, just like the two of you.
What happened, Mr. Jiao Cho?
He has a way with words.
Oh, nothing. I was just reminded of some old friends and old tales. Judging from my professional perspective as a healer, both of you possess remarkable vitality. Your energies flow like raging fires and mighty gales. The upcoming fight will definitely be impressive. Well, we've seen the Sky Splitter and toured the Stargazer Navalia. I guess it's time to say goodbye for now.
What? You're leaving already? But you haven't asked me about mine.
More
I've
70s.
been working hard too, you
Full
know.
character used to be at least.
It's getting late, Miss March. Unlike you lot, I'm a grown-up bound by responsibilities and duties. The tasks entrusted to me by the General won't complete themselves. By the way, Yanqing, is it normal to have so many people wandering around in an automated area like the Stargazer Navalia?
Actually, this is a restricted area. But since you're all guests, I made an exception, so you can take a look around.
I understand. Well, I'll take my leave. I wish you both the best of luck in the ring tomorrow.
Seriously, I just spent so much time thinking about my dreams.
Oh, details like this are so good. This is exceptional writing.
Now that we're done with our tour of the Sky Splitter, shall we continue with our training?
Why don't
Quirky
we
characters.
take a day off?
What? You want to secretly practice swordplay
This
by
is what
yourself?
life is about, and good writing is about.
You know cramming before a fight never works out.
One of the ways.
For some reason, seeing the Sky Splitter has boosted my confidence. So, I've decided to conserve my strength for tomorrow. All right. I'll take you out of the Stargazer Navalia.
Nice. Let's go.
Oh, just shut up, Red Fang. This is not a beast ship. I need some time to take care of things. You willingly donned the skin of a lowly beast to join this mission, dedicating yourself to our glorious cause. And now you're telling me you can't handle it? Do you realize how many ships we need? I'm doing my best, all right? It takes time to figure all this out. When the guns go off tomorrow, all eyes will be on it. That'll be our only chance. How's that? Who's there?
Walking in on a conspiracy, the usual.
Who are you guys?
An impromptu inspection. Why are there outsiders loitering in Stargazer Navalia? And a bunch of kids at that.
Hey, kids, didn't your parents ever tell you to stay away from the Stargazer Navalia? I know it's an automated facility, but it doesn't mean you can just break in and do what you want.
Lol.
Sorry. I'll take the little ones away right now.
Hmm.
Big sis, let's go. I want to play in Ever Hunt Planes.
Huh?
There's
Ever hunt planes?
bound to be a reason for this.
Yeah, sure. Big sis will take you there.
Need to be inconspicuous to foil the plan.
You should have let me.
Shh, the overhaul is done, and everything looks good. We should leave.
you just said, Yenching?
What did I say?
Big sis, let's go. I want to play in heaven on planes.
Come on. Can't you read the room? Something is definitely off about the 3 people we just met.
Yeah, anyone could see that. I just wanted to hear you say it again. That pink-haired box tried to say something.
Snarky.
I'm pretty sure he sensed something fishy. Since he's not familiar with this place, he just dropped us a hint. But you didn't seem to be paying attention at all.
I knew that from the beginning.
Lol. Cloud Knight didn't recognize Master Yenching. Yeah.
That Cloud Knight didn't recognize Master Yenching at all. That's really weird.
What? Is he famous on the Lavu or something? Not even the Cloud Knights on the Juming, who all know my glorious name, might recognize my face.
You have a point.
A Cloud Knight, a member from the Skyfaring Commission, and a craftsman. They're from various departments, and the reason for the overhaul seems legit. But one of them blurted out some weird language just now. Did you hear that?
Interesting detail.
I have a feeling that if we secretly tail them, we'll definitely catch these guys in the act.
Let's try to look at that. Oh, I don't see those voice lines anymore.
Follow my lead, and be careful not to blow our cover.
Sure thing.
Never mind who they are. Let's just film them.
Ooh. Target found. This is so difficult. What? None of the targets? What? Did I like zoom in or something? Okay.
We should have just killed those lowly beasts. Those little brats won't take up much space. There are boxes all over this place. Just dump them into one and no one will notice.
That's
Cut
very
the
evil.
access, Murloc. Even the slightest
Beatrix,
slip
yeah.
up could interfere with Lord Moktok's plans.
Lord Moktok. Can you have a
So where are we
goofier
headed
name?
next?
To check the freight skiffs. We've got a lot of preparations to do. Also, don't forget to take those crates with you. Weapons, supplies. We've got to be well prepared. Otherwise, we're screwed.
So, are they smugglers? What exactly are they up to?
I have no clue. They seem to be moving those crates. I've got an idea. We can hide inside the crates and follow them.
Let's go.
Ugh, so cramped in here.
Ooh.
I can hardly breathe.
Just hang in there.
That leads into some situational comedy, probably. Hear footsteps pacing back and forth. Certain catch you in your ridiculous hiding position. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. The floating mechanism at the bottom of the crate is activated. You feel it begins to drift slowly forward. After what feels like an entire amber era of holding breath in silence, you heard the sound of the crate touching down.
Let's just put the cargo here for now, all right? Then we'll move on to inspect the ships. Lord Moktok said that as soon as we're done, we're to board the freight skiff and leave this place.
Don't worry, I've changed the shipping schedule. You two, come with me.
Is it just me? I keep smelling that stench of lowly beasts beasts everywhere we go.
Beasts? So is he
Be
talking
so
about?
paranoid?
Also, a cool thing because no one knows what he refers to exactly.
Planning to escape on the skiffs in Stargazer Navalia. Keep talking about their plans, but where do they come from? And what do they want to do on the Xianzhou?
They're definitely up to something bad. Wait, they disappeared. Let's catch up to them.
Trailing mode? Within line of sight. Performing actions that make it easy for the target to discover you will increase the value of the alert score. Mission failed then. Training mode is active. Series of cover spots that you can shelter behind will be marked. Okay, cool. Nice.
Tread softly, breathe quietly, and make sure to keep an eye on them. Hide out of sight as soon as there's any sign of activity.
Nice. This works when I actually see them. Mokdok. And this gameplay is actually also like more believable following something than the usual ordeal of just being slower.
Don't be so paranoid. We're running out of time. Get over here.
Be like
Too hard. I'm coming.
having an eye on them mechanic was kind of immersive.
Leaving. We should catch up to them. Quickly! Did he spot us? Quickly, hide! Watch out! You're on high alert!
Nice.
What are they up to? They're all wearing official uniforms, but I'm pretty sure they're not members of the Skyfaring Commission, the Artisanship Commission, or the Cloud Knights. This is way too suspicious.
Never mind who they are. Let's just film them. That way, if they do anything bad, we'll have solid evidence against them.
These little branching storylines from the main thing feel really wholesome, like together with the main topic. Ba-ba.
Look at this. A freight star skiff with enough room to fit at least 20 of my men. I'll let the others know and have
Is
them
it
prepare more
Borisin?
star skiffs.
Or like an anti-Borisin, like... Is that like
Once we're past the
abundance or
checkpoint,
something?
there will be beast ships waiting for us. Lord Moktok is ready. The
Borisin,
revival of our
probably.
ancient bloodline all hinges on this operation.
Just disguised Borisin.
What did he just say? Beast ships?
Who's there?
It's those brats! I told you to get rid of them, but you didn't listen, you idiot! Wipe them all out!
Yeah, Borisin guys.
Adulta! Die, you broken beast!
I love the boba tea mechanic on Mortal. It's so cool.
Not very like? Sets the seas ablaze! Yeah!
It also makes you think of the team composition because both the Sifu and also 7th should have like high speed. Because the more the character acts, the more
How is
7th
this
gets
possible? How did these
bonuses.
Foxians change
And she
their
needs to
appearances
apply
like
it
that?
before the act.
They're not Foxians at all. They revealed their true form.
I wish the auto battle would have some more depth though.
Just like the bandits I defeated on the IPC ship.
Wait, that means...
Anyway, yeah, how the auto battle could have more depth is like first, don't make like disabling auto battle locked in animation. Like during like ultimate animations and some skill animations, you can't really undo auto battle, which sucks in case you're watching the battle and want to just hop in a certain time. And I think that they also would need to implement, like this is a big ordeal, but they need to implement a system similar to like Final Fantasy 13 or something with a sort of like script for the other characters who are doing auto battle to have them do a specific thing that you have planned and to have the opportunity to change that mid-combat. This would make the combat more appealing, more engaging already. It is like, it would be a huge change, but it would be for so much more interesting to the game and to make the combat more relevant.
Well, how did the Borisin manage to infiltrate the Xianzhou?
It's not just a simple disguise of wearing our clothing and shaving their whiskers. They're somehow able to alter their appearance to be indistinguishable from Foxians. They even have official
Evil
IDs
wolf
for the
people.
Skyfaring Commission, the Artisanship Commission, and even the Cloud Knights? Let me check this fake Cloud Knight's tag. Maybe it'll give us some clues. Lujun, an officer of the Patrol Defense Squad? Wait!
What's the matter?
I encountered a patrol officer named Lujun before. It was a few weeks ago, when we were transporting the Borisin prisoners. If they can forge official identities and move around the Xianzhou without raising suspicion... Oh no, this is bad.
Even worse. If you find one cockroach on the Express, it usually means...
There are more Borisin hiding on the Xianzhou. I bet their plan is much bigger than just stealing information. We've got to report this to the Seat of Divine Foresight.
Isn't it Divine Foresight though? Wouldn't they know? No, because they scammers, they don't actually know much. Divine Foresight, my arse.
I'm glad to finally meet you in person, guests from the Astral Express. I'm Fei Xiao, the general of the Xianzhou Yaoqing.
She Borisin or something?
Let me introduce our guest to you. The one dressed in green.
He's the reincarnation of Imbibitor Lune, and the person behind him is the newest member of the crew. I've heard a lot about you. Outside the reports from the Law Fu, the Skyfaring Commission of the Yaoqing has also gathered plenty of information about both of you. I've been eager to meet you face to face for reasons that I'm sure General Jing Yuan has explained, right?
answering questions with witnesses seems a bit lo-fi or like lowbrow or whatever that's called. This is like maybe outright lying, but seems funny. Maybe.
No, he didn't. That doesn't sound like the divine foresight I know.
Don't worry. Just tell her the truth.
According to General Jing Yuan's report, the Ruin Legion is to blame for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, and all Arbiter Generals should pay attention to the Ruin Author's movements. Over the years, the Destruction's minions have wreaked havoc on countless worlds, and the Alliance has been keeping an eye on them. But no one expected them to join hands with the remnants of the Abundance.
How
The
is like a
damage caused by
healing
the Ambrosial
faction
Arbor
abundance
crisis
like
was
the
far
evil
less
guys?
severe
Yeah.
than expected, which is good news for us. However, it was quite different from the Ruin Legion's usual style of destroying life wherever they go. While I trust the bravery of the Divine Foresight and the Nameless, I'm curious about some details missing from the report. I'd like to take this chance to have an exchange with both of you. Let me be clear. The questions I'll ask might not reflect my actual thoughts, so please don't take offense if any of my questions seem a bit harsh.
I like the dot on her forehead.
Please go ahead, General.
Very
But keep in mind, we can only answer
enlightened of
based
her.
on what we know. And perhaps you already have the answers to your questions in your heart.
You have a clever tongue. I like it.
The Merlin's
Ooh.
claw is quite articulate. Right now, her intentions are unknown, and Jin Yuan wants us to be honest. Maybe I'll just stick to the facts we know.
I don't know anything though.
Let's cut to the chase. Before the crisis struck, the Astral Express was guided here by a Stellaron hunter, a wanted felon, in an attempt to resolve the Stellaron crisis. However, everyone in the cosmos knows of the Stellaron hunter's reputation. So, why did you place so much trust in them? Could it be that some of you have a connection?
Insightful. What's this mean? Raise her suspicion. How do you raise someone else's suspicion? Elio's prophecy. Don't remember what that is. Does come down to the Stellaron. That's kind of true. Simple fact. Probably good.
Apart from the Lafu, there are many other worlds suffering from Stellaron corrosion. For example, Eurillo 6, the world that the Express stopped at before reaching the Lafu, was one of them.
Cool.
To the Express, Stellarons act as roadblocks on the Silver
What are
Rail
these
and pose
items there?
risks to the warping process. And that's why dealing with Stellaron issues is part of the duty of the Nameless.
Ah, I've heard about those problems caused by Stellarons. The Express connects various worlds, so it makes sense for you to take care of this. The cosmos is a mess, and the Trailblazers are just doing their best to fix it. I understand. Let's move on to the next question. The report suggests that Don Shu, the master of the disciples
getting
of
these
Sanctus
down is good.
Medicus, colluded with the Lord Ravager and used the power of the Stellaron to resurrect the Ambrosial Arbor. But here's the thing. Don Shu was just a chief alchemist. Even if she colluded with our enemies and summoned the Stellaron, how did she manage to bypass the Videodora guards around the Ambrosial Arbor?
I don't remember. I actually don't remember. In the courtroom, you should mostly have a tactic of like saying you don't remember or something. It's kind of shitty, but it is how it is, but I just don't remember actually. Preceptors of the lawful person met Danshu. Exile. What led to this calamity? That's a bit toxic. Refuse to answer anything, that's even worse. I mean, this is true. I think we've met Danshu. But this doesn't answer how they bypassed the guards. So this does answer that, I guess.
The answer seems rather simple, doesn't it? The preceptors of the Lafu abandoned their duty to guard the ambrosial arbor and colluded with the disciples of Sanctus Medicus.
I don't remember whether that's true.
But there's another scenario to consider. General Jing Yuan brought back Mr. Don Hung, who had been in exile for a long time. As a result, Don Hung parted the seas, eventually leading to the resurrection of the ambrosial arbor.
Oh yeah, Don Hung is
Never intended
Moses.
to trespass
Sure.
on the Xianzhou ship, but
If you had no intention to
No.
trespass, then why did you return to the Xianzhou ship before your exile was lifted?
I was concerned about the safety of my companions, so I had to act brazenly. I alone bear the blame.
Please don't worry, Mr. Don Hung. If someone must be held accountable, it won't fall solely on your shoulders. According to the report, Lord Ravager Fantilia is the mastermind behind the entire conspiracy. She disguised
this
herself
deciding
as an
round.
ambassador of the Skyfaring
This is actually
Commission
quite
and traveled
like
with
there is a
you,
loose condition. I see.
only to
This is
vanish
quite
without a
meaningful
trace
gameplay.
thereon. It seems too convenient to label her as a scapegoat.
Was she a Heliobus? I don't think she was a Heliobus. I'm not sure actually. I just don't remember. Folks one, I think, did witness everything, didn't she? Was Fantilia really a Heliobus? Like, okay, obviously she was eager to obtain power, but I mean, I guess this answers the question, right?
I was there,
Yeah.
fighting Fantilia alongside General Jingyuan, but she absorbed the power of the ambrosial arbor and gained an almost indestructible physical form. Perhaps that was her intention all along.
So, a pawn of the destruction wanted a flesh and blood body to live in. Interesting. That's quite a new perspective.
Negotiation successful. Woo!
Oh. It seems that your answers have addressed all my questions. Generals, I am finished with my questioning.
That's good.
So,
Good
what do
gameplay.
you think, General Fei Shao? Have the
Fei Shao.
doubts in the report been cleared up?
The two nameless have been honest in their answers. Even though there are some tricky details, my intuition tells me there is nothing wrong. However, the three questions I posed earlier were not just for the nameless, but for you too, General Jing Yuan. First, the disciples of Sanctus Medicus grew uninterrupted on the Law Fu, yet the 6 charioteers were not aware of it. That was a dereliction of duty. Second, you believed in the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy and entrusted outsiders to solve the crisis, even
Oh, I
granting
needed
them
to say the
access to
prophecy.
playground.
Okay.
That was a dereliction of responsibility. Third, you insist on holding the war dance right after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis, putting the Lawfu back in the spotlight. That is a dereliction of wisdom.
Merlin's
Derelict.
Law. Is this your line of thinking? Or the 10 Lords?
From the moment I walked in, I made it clear that the questions I'd ask might not reflect my actual thoughts.
The disciples of Sanctus Medicus were deeply rooted and had been plotting for a long time. I admit it was my negligence for not noticing it earlier. As for the Stellaron Hunter's prophecy, I didn't believe all of it. But in the end, the Law Fu did survive the Ambrosial Arbor crisis. So, I think it's safe to say that Elio's prophecy about the future holds some merit. And as for the war dance, do you think I'm unaware of the risks? However, risks can also be opportunities. The Law Fu has lain low for too long. I believe it's time to stir up the dregs hidden in the depths and wash them away once and for all.
Just as I expected from our sophisticated divine foresight. You have a way with words. I like it. But, unfortunately, ever since the report was submitted, the Alliance has been filled with rumors and speculation. Even within the Law Fu.
I don't understand this line. Risk can be opportunities. Lawfu has lain low for too long. It's time to stir up the dregs hidden in the depths and wash them away once and for all. I don't know what he's referring to.
There are people.
So what are your thoughts on all of this, General Fei Shao?
As a fellow Arbiter General, I fully understand the difficulties of this position. Personally, I think all these rumors are meaningless drivel. Across the sea of stars, the divine foresight knows better than anyone else what happened on the Law Fu and the meaning behind it. Just as what happened on the Xianzhou Yaoqing recently.
You mean the Xianzhou Yaoqing is also...
The scouts of the Verdant Knights have sent back reports that Borisin are making trouble again. The Borisin packs that were once divided and scattered have started swallowing each other up, forming larger and larger packs. Moreover, there's an entity named Mongus behind it all.
An entity?
According to the report, this entity isn't actually a Borisin. It's a woman claiming to be the messenger of the Master of Immortality. She's described as having 12 faces and 12 pairs of fangs, as cruel as poison and as elusive as quicksand. The Borisin believe she'll give them a chance to rise again.
That's Ventilia.
That's right. You're lucky that I'm the one who came this time. If it were the Patina Justice or the Seer Strategist, this conversation might not be so friendly. I've always had faith in my instincts, so I don't doubt your good intentions. But the Alliance has its fair share of questions and doubts about the Law Fu. So, my plan is to come up with an acceptable answer to satisfy the Alliance.
What's in this plan, General Fei Shao?
General Jing Yuan, you already know what has to be done. But since you don't want to be the bad guy, I'll take care of it for you. You need the final word from the Ten Lords Commission to quell any doubts. And for that, I'll have to ask the two Nameless to visit the Shackling Prison.
Ooh. No, we're just visiting the Borisin, I guess.
No, I'm not imprisoning you. While you're there, I'll ask a judge in the Ten Lords Commission's Interrogation Division to record a detailed testimony with the Karmic Mirror from both
Karmic
of you.
Mirror?
We'll
Cool.
fill in the gaps that weren't covered in the report and silence any protests within the Alliance.
I'm okay with that.
So, like a lie test.
Worried that I might go back on my word and keep you in the Shackling Prison? Relax. If I wanted to do that, you'd already be behind bars. Once you're done with your testimony, you're free to come and go as you please.
Then, as the Merlin's Claw requests,
Oh, there's one more thing. This testimony is for silencing the voices of opposition within the Alliance, but I would like to urge General Jing Yuan to listen to the pleas of the Foxians on the Xianzhou Yaoqing.
so, you are here for Hule.
Exactly. Hule is locked up in the Law Fu's Shackling Prison. Since he is the broodlord of the Borison, I want to transfer him onto the Xianzhou Yaoqing and imprison him there. The recent movements of the Borison suggest they're planning something big, so we must act preemptively.
It makes sense to have the Foxians keep an eye on your arch-nemesis. Since you trust my judgment, I'll repay that trust. What do you think about all this, General Wyan?
I was worried this would turn into a heated argument, but it seems like both of you are on the same page, solving each other's problems. I couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
And as for Hule, I'll send my lieutenants Zhao Chou and Moza to check on his condition in prison and ready him for transport. If there are no more questions, shall we get this started?
Cool. Ending the stream for now. Very cool storyline. I don't think I need to remind everyone how much better this is from a certain newer storyline, which it is. Can we have a pull or two? I don't think we have enough, but let's check. Exactly one pull. What else? Nothing. What a surprise. Maybe we can get the exchange. Get a couple. 9 to be exact. That's not bad. One away from a 10 pull, but I'm good with doing this one by one. Well, what is this? Regular shit. Whatever's. Come on. We on 10 pulls already. Not the worst outcome then. We have 2 more. Probably nothing burgers, but let's do it. Yep. Thought as much. Bye for now.